As you can see, we got our first dry bend coned out. Got the side sumped out. Ready to start this paddle sweep. Make sure it's working like it's supposed to. I haven't used them yet, so don't know how it's gonna work, how to engage it. I think I got an idea. So I'm gonna get it going. Hopefully it works okay. Corn's flowing into it. See it slowly move. Looks like it's working. I just got done loading the overhead bin. Just want to come in here after shutting stuff down and see how good a job this paddle sweep is doing. So far, you can see it's actually doing pretty good. You can actually see the floor. In our older bends, where we used to use auger sweeps, you'd have like a 2 to 3 foot layer left behind the sweep, so you always walked behind it and just shoveled corn as the sweep went around. This is definitely a lot better. Now the edge, looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a berm there. After talking to some guys, after you sweep around once, what you do is you let it run around again. It kind of helps clean up this last little bit that's left over. I feel like it's not necessarily gonna get every single kernel. We might have to come back in here, sweep the edges and whatnot. But right now it's looking like it's gonna be 10 times better than anything we've had in the past. This is the first day running the sweep. I probably moved about 2,000 to 3,000 bushels out of here, and you can see that the sweep's only moved 6-7 feet from the door. There's definitely a good chunk of corn still in here. I'm gonna guess anywhere from 25, mid 20,000-ish bushels just in the bottom of both these bends. I think the other north bend's probably close to getting coned out, and the wet bend's probably close to getting coned out. But that could still be, 40 to 60-ish loads yet. So we're down to the bottom, but still quite a bit of corn to move yet. Just keep chugging along.
Jockeying some equipment around, getting the mail roll planter back and hooked in, but we gotta move some other stuff before we unhook it. We're gonna put it in a different spot this year. Normally, we put the mail roll planter right here in this corner, just backed up here, but we kind of want to put it where this rotary hoe is. Should fit between right there on the wall there, nice. Then we got a full 60 feet in case we need to pull anything else in, the length of the building wise here. So he's just backing this 12 row in. We're gonna unhook it over there because we're gonna use the 7800 to lift the rotary cutter and move this little plow. You think you got a big enough building, and then you start backing some equipment in, get a couple combines in. They're eating up, just like that. We'll get her packed in here though, nice and tight, like sardines. Attempting to hook up the rotary hoe. I think you're doing okay. Holy! Oh, hang on. I gotta move that pin. Whammy! Whammy! Okay. Looks like you got it. Those of you that don't know what a rotary hoe does, I don't know if I can give a super scientific term, but if you planted a crop and you got a really hard rain right after, you get a big crust over the surface of the soil. So what this will help do is break up that crust. It's kind of one of them tools that you don't use every year, and you hope you really don't have to use, because it means your crops aren't growing. You do need it. They come in clutch. Oh, go back down. Shoots. Tub it. That hose was caught. You just didn't turn it back up. We're gonna go hook up to our little 3-bottom plow here now. The Super Chief plow. Got the plow hooked up. Getting it out, and we're gonna go find a different home for it. It's like a little wimp on the 7800. Look at there. Got it kind of where we wanted it. Kind of had to weasel it up over this, but we'll be getting this out next year before we hopefully have to get that out. It's probably good that it's kind of tucked nice and tight away. On to the next. Oh, hoe's gonna get trapped again. We got our male row in, rotary hoe in, got the 12 row tucked away, 7200, 26 row tucked away, and we got a nice bay here in case we need to pull in all summertime hay equipment or truck, trailer, semi. Oh, I'm getting the door shut on me. It's gonna get dark in here.
Out here today doing some crop scouting. Brian, our seed dealer, brought to our attention that some guys were seeing some armyworm pressure in some of their fields that previously had cover crop on it, or areas that had hay ground or whatnot. I'm here scouting my field today, which if any field's gonna be susceptible to it, it's gonna be this one, because there's hay ground here. There's spots where we plant corn into rye, and like right here, there's a strip of rye going up to his building, so he has a place to come spread manure throughout the summer. So I've been walking through the field for a while now, and I haven't really seen much of anything significant. So I'm just kind of looking at the crop, looking at the corn plants to see if I can see any feeding, or if you physically see any worms active around the area. Searched quite a bit in this rye strip over here, and I'm not really able to find, couldn't find one single armyworm. So I'm over here on the west side of the farm. We got alfalfa, and there's some big waterways over here, and I can't really find much for armyworms or many insects for that matter. Back here at our home farm, you come out to the field, there's still spots that haven't quite died out yet. Still got some green materials. That's where the armyworms are most likely to be, because they're feeding on that rye grain where it's still fresh and green. So I'm looking around here, see if I can find anything. Look right down here, see if I can find them again. All right, get the camera on it. Right there. There's a worm right there. That one looks actually kind of dead. Oh, there's a little guy right there. This was literally the first spot I walked out to where it was a little greener. Looked down and I could find them. Over on the other farm I was just at, I couldn't find a single one. I saw some different insects, weren't sure what they were. When I came back here, I found them right away. So we just got to keep an eye out and make sure that we might have to, just nip it, spray insecticide here, so that way they don't migrate over and start eating the corn, because they're more likely to just keep feeding on grass before they would feed on a legume like beans or alfalfa or clover or something like that.
Picture.
Ready for YouTube-ness?
Sure. Oh, there's a bug in my eye.
Honey Badger, what's up?
Well, we just got all 10 beams laid out to paint red to match our other overhead bin with the help of our niece Christine, who's here for the summer.
She's been in a video before, last fall.
Corn, load of corn this morning.
Yep.
So we got to get them cleaned off now and let them dry, and then we'll start painting them here this afternoon. It's going to be interesting how much less fun or more fun it is to paint them here than on the thing already stood up.
It'll be way
with
better.
With a 8-foot ladder, spilling paint on the floor and whatnot. This will be very entertaining.
This will be way better.
Ooh, nice start raining here. Got the field cultivator pulled out right in front of the shop. We're gonna get it blown off, washed up. It's a pretty big job. Knock all the sweeps. We got some stuff on them. They're gonna paint those green Sukup stands red, because as you all know, we went with red on the Sukup sign and the stands for our setup here because, well, red and white, that's the building scheme around here. And we want it to match and look good. Comment below if you've ever seen red Sukup. We still got green on the backside that you can't see from the road. But other than that, it's all red on the front. If you're watching this from Sukup, you should probably maybe have color options for your customers. I know Sukup green, that's the trademark, but pretty cool if it can match your building site. Some guys might have blue, some guys might have brown. First things first, get the hose out, blow this thing off. There's not too much dirt on it, but I say that and you get up close and you're like, a lot worse than it looks. After that, we'll power wash it
take TNT over it, get it cleaned up. It's one of those things where you're never gonna get it perfect, but you can surely get it a lot better than what it was, and it will look somewhat clean. And take care of your equipment, it'll take care of you. I got most of the bulk blown off here in the middle. This is really where it accumulates. Go underneath, sweeps, and grab off stuff like that. You pull up fabric from whatever, I don't even know how I even get to the field. Well, I crawled my way underneath there and got all the stuff off the sweeps. This will be funny. So I know ya Minnesotans call this a digger, eh? Well, around here, you know, the normal Iowa, this is a field cultivator. But if you want to call it a digger, go right ahead. More power to you. Kind of started sprinkling a little bit here, which isn't very ideal, but in my eyes, I guess that's just a second hand on the washing job, right? There's never really a good place to start. You just gotta go. TNT time. We got her washed up. We're gonna go put her away. Looks pretty decent. As good as it's gonna get. With the field cultivator, it's pretty tall, so Devin's gotta go up and watch it. Last year, he put it away, so he remembers how we did it. You gotta lower it down as we go in, so we'll see how this goes. We're in. You can tell it's pretty close. You can see I don't got very much room there between the sweeps and the ground. All right, we got her stuck in. Not too bad, not too bad. Plenty of room to walk in between. Putting the cylinder stops in. Perfect. Right, sneak right through there. Perfect. All unhooked. Looks good. Take the quad home. Get that washed up after we get the VT done. And Dad's planter. Oh wow. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, they look so good together. 420, 9620, 400, 9420T, 9430, 7800. Oh, where? 4020. He's hiding back there. Only one we're missing is the 8520. We need to clean this up so we have a nice clean spot to work in. That way you're not kicking mud up every time you're washing.